Pandan Zava Lama Rambo Dagi Juru Peme Deshun Kaden Chimbe Gune Jason Kosun Tujang Razado Kanga Doja Mara Jabo Do Nima Sune Yoga Niches Nimelinga Raga Dumai Do Tudai Wanjo Dalai Gashas Tuja Zimbo Danda Mai Tadai Zinja Tanse Ninjara Wanjo Saja Kunga Nimbo Lachas Sanam Bami Lachas Chimbe Yezia Raji Joy Zalai Shoja Sanai Zama Lachas Chanai Ginji Danyas Sanga Yaza Paru Dorje Zimbai Gunji Tabai Janza Lachas Shija Tamse Sebe Jin Doga Gala Duva Doje Samye Tinen Zebe Donga Jamga Lame Shala Gushas Chande Gundo Sambe Namra Zebe Dindra Tamje Tempa Jamne Deme Dava Maza Shija Bhabe Shala Sohan Gunja Jazo Rajo Sungai Shan Vagad Pende Panjo Samba Zanjava Pande Lamia Jala Anjawai Gundai Andai Lamai Jame Shija Balai Lunches Sadai Namje Yene Rabjane Dorje Changi Gobai Nyaradoi Shu Tena Deja Zova Dabe Dazo Kandai Nebe Sajus Nede Uba Tabze Shiva Dan Chidai Chache Pewa Zadoi Su Saji Beja Joja Medai Dam Jirai Linjie Nidai Dempan Sanje Shindo Midai Pawai Joge Namdai Shindo Jabarai Shu Samjai Namjai Sambai Dai Loya Chidai Chidram Chijai Tamai Tabai Shijai Kolai Goradoi Su
So first of all, I would like to say touching the leg to all of you. So in this holy Vesak month, we received many precious and profound teachings from His Holiness, the first Common Teacher Rinpoche, and especially this morning, we received the Green Tara initiation of the Choje Walden Adishak tradition. So we are very fortunate now. just to follow up, this afternoon I'm going to explain a little bit about the Tara, especially about the Sadhana. Generally, all the teachings of the Buddha can be combined into two main traditions, the Pali tradition and Sanskrit tradition of Buddhism. And this belongs to this Sanskrit tradition of Buddhism, which also has two kinds, the cause Paramitayana and result Vajrayana. And this belongs to the result Vajrayana. And within the Vajrayana, there are four classes of Tantra. And out of these four, this belongs to the Kirya Tantra, the first Tantra. In reality, it is important to develop the right motivation, because the right motivation is the one that can determine our action, that can determine our merits, that can determine what kind of practice that we are doing. So therefore, although motivation is something that we cannot see, it's not something that is visible. So whatever good or bad or superior or inferior motivation that we develop, others will not see. Even people who are sitting right next to us will not see what kind of motivation that we are developing. But it doesn't mean it is not important. Actually, the real Dharma practice or the real virtuous deeds that we do, we should do with sincere mind, with sincere thought. It is not necessary to tell others that we are doing this and that virtuous or good or generous activities. Also, it is not necessary to show off our own virtues. Actually, by showing off our own good deeds, virtuous deeds, that can weaken our virtue. That makes our virtue less powerful. So, if you really wish to perform powerful Dharma practice, powerful virtuous deeds, then it is better not to show off, better to keep secret. The more you keep secret, the more powerful it becomes. So, this is same to any action, whether it's virtue or non-virtue, whether it's positive or negative. If we don't hide our negative actions, if we tell others our own negative actions, then that negative action can become weaker can become less powerful. So whether it's good or bad, whether it's positive or negative actions, whatever action that we tell others becomes less powerful. But sometimes we must tell to our guru like that. But apart from that, in general, if you try to show off to anybody or to others, then whether it's good or bad, by telling others, it will become less powerful. Whatever action that we hide, whether it's good or bad, that becomes more powerful. So, therefore, it is not necessary for us to tell others, or it is not necessary for others to see what we are doing. Other people are not our judge. The law of karma is our judge. The guru is our judge, not anybody. So if our guru knows, then it's fine. And law of karma will know anyway. We cannot hide anything to law of karma. We don't need to tell them. We don't need to tell to the law of karma. It will know by itself. So we should always think our guru, our triple gem, our law of karma are here with us all the time as our witness, as our judge. So with such thinking, then naturally we feel shy to do more and more negative actions because they are with us, they are the witnesses, they are the judge that are seeing all our actions all the time without any exception. Actually, in the Bodhisattva Avatar by Shantideva, it says, Sangye Chanju Sambhatha, Kundu Thome Sikvar Den. It means Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, or I think it refers to the noble Bodhisattvas, they always see us, they always see all our actions without any exception. So with this kind of thinking, we should try to be more vigilant, more careful about doing our own future actions. So, back to the point, motivation is something that people cannot see, but that's fine. It's not necessary for people to see what kind of motivation that we are developing. But this motivation is very, very important. This motivation will determine whether we are going to the higher realms or lower realms in the future. This motivation determines whether we are doing the real Dharma practice or false or the superficial Dharma practice. This motivation can determine whether we are planting the seed of liberation in enlightenment state or we are planting the seed of falling down in the three lower realms and especially in the hell realms. So, therefore, this right motivation is very, very important. It plays a very important role in our future. Whatever future that we will have depends on our action. And what kind of action that we are doing depends on our motivation. Motivation will determine what kind of action that we are doing it. So, therefore, from this point of view, right motivation is very important. Although we can't take picture of our own motivation, but that's absolutely fine. No need to take picture and no need to post anywhere in our social media. The most important thing is to have the right motivation. Posting or sharing in social media is not that important. If we really think of genuine Dharma practice, if we really think of sincere Dharma practice, but sometimes maybe it's important to use as a skillful means to lead more people on the right path. But apart from that, it is not important. So, right motivation, as you all know, means developing the thought renunciation, developing the infinite loving kindness, developing the infinite compassion, and wishing and engaging bodhicitta. These are very important to develop. Then, with such right motivation, we should practice. And today, the practice is on Tara. Actually, there are many different kinds of Tara, different colors, different hand objects. But today Tara is green Tara practice. And green Tara also has different traditions. Actually, in the collection of Sadhana, there are 21 Tara practices. One is part an Adisha tradition, and one is from the Surya Gupta tradition. So normally in our monasteries, we do Tara Puja, and these Tara Pujas are based on, or these Tara Pujas are from the Adisha tradition. So therefore, this morning His Holiness gave green Tara initiation of the Adisha tradition. And this root green Tara, or the main green Tara, is the one that manifests 21 different Taras. And these 21 different Taras, they performed their own special activities to lead the sentient beings from suffering and dissatisfaction to temporary and ultimate happiness. So when people are putting 21 taras in the shrine, actually they should put 22 taras, not just 21 taras. 22 taras because First is the root or the main Tara. From that it manifests another 21 Taras. So we need both the main Tara that manifest and the one that are the manifestation of the main one. So total, we need 22 Tara statues if we are ordering statues for our own shrine. And in reality, Arya Tara or noble Tara, actually Arya Tara, Arya means noble, who is not an ordinary being. Actually, she is not just a noble, but she is on the state of the highest noble. Normally, when we say noble being, there are four kinds of noble beings, four main kinds. There are the first, the Sharavaka Buddhas, second, the Pratyeka Buddhas, third, the noble Bodhisattvas who has already obtained the first bhumi or who has already in the path of seeing onwards. And the fourth one, the highest noble being, refers to the enlightened being or the complete Buddha or Lord Buddha. So, in reality, Arya Tara is the highest noble. Actually, Arya means the highest noble. Tara means the liberator, the one who liberates infinite sentient beings from the ocean of samsara and place them on the state of liberation and finally on the state of Buddhahood. So, Aryatara means the noble, the highest noble liberator. So, Aryatara in reality is none other than Buddha. She is the mother of all the noble beings. She is in the nature of perfect Parjana Paramita. And she has already attained Buddhahood. So she is none other than Buddha. She is real Buddha. When we say she is a real Buddha, this has the definite meaning. Then, for the eyes of common people, in ancient time, she was born as a princess of a king she was called Yeshidawa. And at that time, she developed bodhicitta in honor of our Buddha. And after developing the bodhicitta, she promised to serve all the sentient beings until the samsara is end. And she also promised to serve all the sentient beings in the female form. So just as she promised after developing the bodhicitta, then every day in the morning and in the afternoon, she liberated thousands and millions of beings from the suffering, from their ordinary thoughts, and place them on the higher state. So, therefore, she was known as Aryatara, and just by remembering the name Aryatara can bestow the blessings on us, can bless us to remove the sufferings, to remove the problems, to remove the anxiety. And then she continued to help the sentient beings. And she is also known as the one who rescued from the 8 great fears, like fear of meeting the lion that is going to eat that is going to kill that person or eat that person. So protecting from the lion, protecting from elephant, protecting from snake, also protecting the thief, etc. So there are 8 protection, or she is one that rescued from these 8 fearful ones. And also in the press it says, so it means by praying to the Tara with the right intention, with sincere wish, then it can fulfill all our wishes. And also, we should think that Aryatara is the embodiment of all the Buddha's activities. In general, all the deities, all the genuine deities are none other than Buddha. They are the Buddhas. So we can't say some deities, some genuine deities are more superior and some genuine deities are inferior. We cannot differentiate in such a way because we cannot differentiate between the Buddhas. All are Buddhas. All the Buddhas have same quality, same ultimate quality. There's no difference at all. There's no difference, even there's no tiny difference between the Buddhas. So, therefore, there's no tiny difference between the deities, between the genuine deities. So, in reality, all the deities are in the same nature, they have the same quality, they have the same infinite qualities. But for the eyes of common people, they emphasize on different activities. So, as you might know, when Chojapalta Adisha, the great and highly realized Indian master, when he has a wish to go to the snow land, and before going there, he went to Bodh Gaya and did circumambulation. While doing the circumambulation, he recited the 21 Tara praises. And at that time, in his pure vision, he saw the Ayatara. And Ayatara also said, you should go to Tibet and you can benefit Tibetans. And also you should practice this 21 Tara prayers. By doing this, you will not have any obstacles in your practice. So Ayatara gave such advice or such instructions to Paltan Adisha, and then gave this 21 Tara prayers or 21 Tara initiation. So actually there are 22 Tara initiation, and this morning we received the root Tara initiation. The root Tara is called Sendeng Nagyo Dolma in Tibetan. So as he received the advice or instruction from the Ayatara, he did practice this Tara, and Ayatara always gave blessings to him, and then because of this blessing, Walden Adisha was able to spread Buddha Dharma in the land of snow with great success, without obstacles. So since then, this Tara initiation or Tara practice have been passed down through many lineage gurus and root guru up until now. So this Tara practice has the blessings of Buddha and lineage gurus, and especially our root guru, His Holiness, the 41st Koma Tsechen Rinpoche. So we should remember how fortunate we are. We should not take initiation for granted. We should always feel, and we should always understand that how fortunate we are, because we got this precious opportunity to receive this profound initiation from Guru Vajradhara directly, and especially in this holy Vesak month where every action can be multiplied into millions of times. So receiving special blessing in a special month means we receive the blessing that we receive can be multiplied into millions. So from this point of view, we should think that how fortunate we are, how lucky we are to have such opportunity. So now I will try to explain this short practice. Actually, this is not, this short practice, brief practice of Grintara. This is in English. First, it says, to the excellent Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge until enlightenment is won. By the matter of giving the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. Actually, this verse in Tibetan, we say, Sakya Trizin, Sakya Trizin, Chenjo Pardo Dani Gyatso Tage Jose Give us on the Rolla Fender Sakya Trizin Show. And this verse is also written, or these words are by Palta Adisha. So Grintara is a Palta Adisha tradition, and this Refuge and Bodhichitta verse is also by Palta Adisha tradition. So we have special connection with this great Indian master, highly realized scholar called Adisha. Actually, Adisha studied in great Indian university called Vikamalashila University. It's a Buddhist university called Vikamalashila University. Still, we can see the ruins. Nowadays, the pilgrims, most of them, they go to the Nalanda, they go to see the ruins of Nalanda University, but I think many people don't know about the ruins of Vikamalashila University. And also, that's quite far. Maybe from Nalanda University, if you go by car, maybe it would take around 8 to 10 hours by road. But anyway, we can go. People can go. Long time ago, I was fortunate to go there with His Holiness and entourage. That was in 2012. So anyway, on this Refuge and Bodhichitta verse, which is written, or with this was by the Palta Adisha, and Refuge and Bodhichitta are very important practice. So in every sadhana, in the beginning of every sadhana or every practice, we must do refuge and bodhicitta. To explain in brief, first we need to reflect on the cause of refuge, or why we are taking refuge. There are three causes or three reasons, and these are the fear of experiencing the suffering of samsara. Second, having a sincere faith and devotion to Guru and Triple Gem. Third, having infinite compassion to all the sentient beings without any exception. So with these three reasons, or with these three causes, then we take refuge in the Guru, who is in the form of Grintara. I think we can do the simplified form of, we can visualize the simplified form of refuge field which means Guru, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, both all are in the form of Girintara deity. So we should think Guru is in the form of Girintara. So the body is Sangha, speech is the Dharma, and wisdom, her wisdom, inner wisdom, is the Buddha. So we can just visualize the green Tara in front of us, who is sitting on the seat around the level of our own eyes, not so far, not so near, about 2-3 feet from our eyes. There we should visualize the real green Tara. So we should not think this is just an imagination. We should think this is the real green Tara, the resultant green Tara, who is none other than Buddha. And every one of us, all the sentient beings are in front of this green Tara, and all of them are in the form of precious human life. This is to make an auspicious sign for every sentient beings to obtain the precious human life in the future, so that they can have the best opportunity to practice the precious and profound Dharma. And the purpose is not just for our own sake, but for the sake of all the sentient beings. And timing is from today until our self attains Buddhahood. Actually, here itself, in the second line, it says, I go for refuge until enlightenment is won, which means until our self becomes Buddha, or until our self becomes enlightened being. Until that, we should take refuge. So we are taking refuge not just until end of this life. We are taking refuge until we ourselves attains Buddhahood. So the first 2 lines shows the refuge, and the next 2 lines shows the bodhicitta. For bodhicitta also, first we should try to remember the cause, which is the great compassion, and then we should generate the wishing and engaging bodhicitta. By the merit of giving and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings, or for the sake of all beings. So these 2 lines shows the wishing and engaging bodhicitta. And then the next is for limitless meditation. May all beings be happy and have the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May they dwell in equanimity without attachment and hatred to those near and far. Actually, these 4 limitless practices are kind of interconnected to each other. If we can't do one of these practices, then it means we can't do the rest of these practices. Because if you don't have genuine loving kindness, those who don't have genuine loving kindness also will not have genuine compassion. Those who don't have genuine loving kindness and compassion will not have genuine joy and equanimity practice. So these 4 limitless practices are interconnected. So if we have one of these practices then it means we can also have the other practices. So, the word may all beings, this word is very important. Without focusing on all beings, we cannot become Mahayana Buddhists. We cannot practice Mahayana Refuge. We cannot practice Bodhichitta. We cannot practice any of the four limitless practices. Or, in short, we cannot do any Mahayana practice without focusing on all beings. So it clearly shows what we are practicing, or when we practice, it's not just for ourselves. It's not just to preserve Buddhism. It's not just for Buddhists. It is for the sake of all the sentient beings, whether they are following other religions, or whether they are non-believers, or whether they are animals, or whether they are hell beings, or hungry ghosts, or demigods, any beings. We are doing it. We are practicing it for the sake of all these beings without any exception. And that's why this word, all beings, becomes very important. Without this, we cannot become Mahayana Buddhist. So it is not easy to practice this. It is easy to say all beings. It is easy to say, but not easy to practice. Not easy to think in this way. Not easy to do action in this way. So, therefore, we should remember this again and again. The more we remember, the more we get used to it, and we can be more familiar with this. When we become more familiar with this meaning and this practice, then it becomes more easy. Then it becomes easier to practice for all beings, or easier to practice this. So, this is very important. And then the next one is Sevenfold Prayers. In the triple gem, I take refuge and confess individually all sins or all non-virtues. I rejoice in the virtuous deeds of all beings and keep in mind the enlightenment of the Buddhas in Buddha Dharma and the excellent assembly. I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. In order to accomplish my own and others' aims, I produce this enlightenment thought. Having produced this excellent enlightenment thought, I invite all beings. I practice the pleasing and excellent conduct of the enlightened and dedicate this merit that all beings may achieve enlightenment. So this is the sevenfold prayer. Actually, His Holiness already explained this morning, so I will just say the names of these sevenfold prayers, or the seven branches. First limb is the limb of compassion. Second is limb of rejoicing. Third is limb of holding the ultimate bodhicitta. Fourth is the limb of refuge. Fifth is limb of wishing bodhicitta. The sixth is limb of engaging bodhicitta. And the seventh one is the limb of dedication. So these sevenfold prayers are very important. It is said during the initiation, from followers' point of view, if we repeat after our Guru the sevenfold prayers with the visualization in a proper way, with the proper motivation, then through this repetition, we can receive the refuge vow and bodhicitta vow. These two vows are very important. without receiving the refuge vow, no matter how much we practice on the Dharma, still we will not become the real Buddhists. So to become Buddhists, we must have the refuge vow. And to become Mahayana Buddhists, we must receive Bodhichitta vow. Actually, the great Sakya Pentita Kunkai Gyaltsen Pel Sampo said, there's no Mahayana practice without the Bodhichitta. Every practice of Mahayana should be sealed by the Bodhichitta. So Bodhichitta is the key, or is like the life force of our Mahayana practice. Without this, it is impossible to do any Mahayana practice. And then the next one is invocation. Do you have this Tibetan, this text, this verse? O lady who rises from Potala's excellent land and thumbs, I think it's 10, not thumb, 10, T-A-N. I don't know the detail, but what I have heard is if there's a dot on top of ka, 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 then we should pronounce as a kang, kang. Last is nga. The last of these four letters are nga. So if there's a dot on ka, 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 then we should pronounce as a kang, 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 gang. And for like pa, 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 if there's a dot on pa, 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 then we should pronounce the dot as a ma, bum, bum, like that. And if there's a dot on ta, 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 then the last is na, so we should pronounce 10 like that. For cha, 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 nya, na, I don't know. And I know for ka, 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 nga, pa, 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 ma, and ta, 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 na. Others, actually there is a guideline, but I don't know. Maybe I have heard, but I forgot maybe. Anyway, dot on ta is 10. Anyway, the Tara's pure land is Potala. And Tara's seed syllable is 10. And out of seed syllable 10, we can visualize the Tara. And from the seed syllable 10, light is issued forth. And performed many noble activities, many beneficial activities. See, here also it says, living beings attain liberation. Please come with your retinue. So this is invoking the Arya Grintara with the retinue from her own pure land, excellent land called the Potala. Nowadays, maybe when we say Potala, maybe we are imagining the Potala palace in Lhasa, but this Potala is not referring to the Potala palace that is in Lhasa. This is referring to the Potala that is the pure land of Arya Girintara. Then next one is homage. Salutations to Tara, the mother of our saviors from all poverty at whose two lotus feet are bowed the crowns of gods and demigods. So this one is in Tibetan is called Hadal Hamin Chabenki Shabki Pemo Ladu de Pomba Kunlan Dol Dama Dolma Yum La Cha Cha Los. This is pay homage to the Green Tara, Arya Tara. Then the mantra, actually before reciting the mantra, ideally speaking, it is good to recite the blessing mantra, which is Om Rudra Ramana Paradaya Soha, or Umrudam Nabadaya, yeah, something like that. For the first time, you should recite like 21 times. Then after that, every time, then you can recite 3 times every time before the recitation of the mantra, before using the mala. And then blow, after reciting the mantra, blessing mantra, then you should blow, you should hold the malas in your 2 hands, in your 2 like folded hands, and then blow the mantra, blow the mala, and then recite the mantra. Om tare tutare ture soha. Sometimes in the text, when it says 10-syllable mantra, so 10-syllable mantra refers to this mantra. Like Om, Om ta re tut ta re tu re Om ta re tut ta re tu re so ha. So they are the 10 syllables. First Om, second ta, third re, fourth tut, fifth ta, sixth re, seventh tu, eighth re, ninth so, and 10th ha. So 10 syllable means this mantra. And then the expression prayer, exalted Tara, take heed of me, put an end to all my misfortunes, and bless me to acquire spontaneously and without effort conditions that are favorable and all the results that I desire. Actually, I think no need to explain word by word, but at the end of this expressional prayer, it says, all the results that I desire, all the results that I desire. This might cause misunderstanding. If I desire worldly results, mundane results, or if I desire something bad to happen to others, then that kind of desire will not be fulfilled by praying to Tara. If you pray to Tara to harm others, then it's not right kind of prayer, and that kind of desire will not be fulfilled by praying to Tara. So mainly here, all the results that I desire means all the positive results, especially all the results that are according to the Dharma or that are according to the teaching. That kind of results can be fulfilled by developing the right motivation and by praying to the Tara with a sincere wish or from the depth of our own heart. Then at the end is the dedication. By this merit, may I swiftly accomplish the stage of revert Tara and swiftly place upon that stage all beings without exception. So it means dedicating all our merits to attain the state of Tara, which is none other than the state of Buddhahood, and also placing other beings on the same state. So with this, I conclude my rough explanation on this Green Tara practice. And at the end, we should dedicate all our merits to attain Buddhahood for the sake of all the sentient beings. And especially, we should dedicate all our merits for our root gurus, long life, good health, and turn the wheel of Dharma far and wide always. Thank you. Ngô the chapter.
那切灭之间那么见的嘛切灭之我为在那么的切灭是因为多在多数这算片面推荐来年今在你的人所也莫是在的难的见本在见证年的这里相关的他的说我觉得来着看见的看着他Doing on Pandavalo Emperor Challenges on the one get job. Show the sun on the tender side. So should the second bed. 对满这种东西，人间叫我说着我吞不落，但说说叫我念白这快慢月叫的这的念着。才马学家为难山山么，罗些难叫我谢谢的这下的所不做就是的这。这些旁般的世界确实偏把你传染人这边见多这些山水多这他的说了面那么纯粹推荐他们的在家子特待他是年接在的是这偏做这些人排名跟着偏做这些人那么家嘛偏做在这外人间也偏做在外谈别我这次我完全的别萨拉完全跟的跟着是难真真在天边在万家家完全小的是这的家为三世人间自己的见面的人我能见天的那位三世观察心掌根的面也嘛 Shaldeso Talisha Jaramado Tianbe Zhen Janbe Yandai Goi Mo Jia Gave Nantai Nai Mian Ye Ma Sing Shalden so lo so jime kembe chai she zo don wei jiang ge tu ji xie shi jian tan bei tu ge ne do de zhi de du de wan zhe zhe do 小的村长给出的世界，体现自然这些蓝的故事，家在来万人的别。对快乐跟觉得就是当你小变数，这是快乐来我为人生的也。开了就是那么多些生命。Try then Jake, Tasik, Sayandu, Bajra. Quan Choi Jin Chi Sum Je Shi Lai Dai Ga Choi Ga Wei Tu Dan Ni Wai Jia Wei Den Chen Jia Mia Yap Se So Gu Si Ri Shi Chen Le Ye Ju Ra Ji Ai La Mai Gong Kum Sang La So Wan Shu Doi Gu Si Rin La So Wan 今日的寻见了所闻的，浪漫谈着外面把情节论，故事里不新的，但把那等着你的寻途所闻，念着南卡的不来跳吧，这是他家天的肉。 반대남의 샤벨은 말난 가냐영할 되게 중화 다시 먼 소살리잔 유도 산제살하인 거라쇼 nendrani modeles nimel kuyandes nisan tado delab kuncho sumje rajisho.
Our heartfelt thanks to His Holiness the Sakya Trizin for bestowing this profound and meaningful teaching today. Thank you also to Sakya Kunchab Ling for kindly sponsoring this teaching. We are deeply grateful to everyone who's made this possible, and we will try our best to practice as our gurus have advised. Today's event is now auspiciously complete.